Welcome to episode 1 of Photo Study. I'm your host Mars, and today we'll be diving into the work of Shin Noguchi.
Misunderstanding in this world. People are hurting one another. I'm just a man with nothing else.
You know what I'm saying?
But music.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Now, Photo Study is a show where I dive into the photographic works of talented photographers around the world. I was inspired to start this series because for the first 10 years of me doing photography, I never owned a photo book. I'm not proud about that. I mean, even to this day, I don't even own a photo book now. And I had never actually taken the time to even study anybody's online gallery. I feel like I was just an egotistical, lazy, self-centered photographer. I don't know why I didn't actually take the time to study anybody else's work. So, with me starting this YouTube and with me wanting to continuously build upon my skills, I knew that it was time for me to just start studying other people. And now that I've done it, I actually studied somebody's work over the past weekend. I actually studied a few people's work, but today we're just talking about Shin Noguchi. I realized that I could have been setting myself back a lot. Like, I feel like I could have been a much better photographer by just studying other people's work. It's like almost like watching game film. Like, if you're Kobe Bryant, you're going to watch the game film of your opponent before you play them. That way I can dominate you, right? I mean, I'm not looking to dominate anybody in photography, but I do want to get better. You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of the reason why I started this series. So how did I find Shin? So I was in the process of like looking for a new camera lens. I have a 28 millimeter that I've been using like for 90% of my work over the past 4 or 5 months. And I was like, I'm getting kind of tired of the 28 millimeter focal length. I feel like I'm cropping in a lot, or just more than I would want to, because it's just so much information. And I just felt like, all right, maybe I'm just gonna get that Voigtlander 40 Nocton for the F mount, or I was thinking I could get this Pentax 31 millimeter lens that I had seen, something just a little bit wider than that 28. But before I did that, I was like, there's other people out there that have shot with the 28 for like their whole career, and they did excellent work with it. So before I actually move on to a different lens, let me study how other people are using this lens to make different work, and maybe see if I can get inspired. And that way I don't have to just go to the store and buy another lens and keep buying lenses all the time without even really taking advantage of everything that, the lens that you have can do. So anyway, I went to ChatGPT and I was like, tell me some lesser known photographers that shoot street or documentary with the 28 millimeter. And one of the first names that popped up was Shin Noguchi. And he has a huge online collection of work. So if you haven't seen his stuff, please head on over to his website or to his Instagram. His work is absolutely amazing. We're going to get into some of the work that he does. Let me go ahead and pull up my computer because we're going to record here. Hopefully my audio is still working, but we're going to dive into the work of Shin Noguchi. Now, before we get into the video for real, I wanted to share my top 5 elements that make a great photo for me. Composition, storytelling, emotion/expression, timing, and then lighting/mood. So once again, that's composition, storytelling, emotion/expression, timing, and lighting/mood. So with every photo that we look at today, I'm going to tell you which element I think really stands out the most. Now, a great photo will have at least one of these elements like locked into a T, preferably two or more. And Shin, he definitely does that for a lot of his. But just for the sake of the video, we want to keep this under like 30 minutes. So yeah, so I'm only going to be listing the number one element that comes to mind for me, and that's and we'll also give some commentary on each photo as well. Cool. So let's dive right into it. So this very first image here, and I pulled all these images from his website. Shin, don't sue me. I'm just trying to show you some love, brother. I love your work. Um, this first image, I love it because we see a photographer. He shoots pictures, but this dude's about to shoot a gun. I think it's just really cool. Um, it's gonna stop you whenever you see a gun in a picture, especially pointing at somebody. That's crazy, and this is in public. Like this isn't a movie set, and even if it's a fake gun, it's still like, yo, that's wild to even point something at somebody and hold the trigger like that. It's a wild, and this is just a wild thing to see. So for me, if I had to say out of the five elements, this one would for sure be storytelling or timing, because I don't think you could have scripted. Look at the face on this gentleman's. Look at the gentleman with the camera. His face, like he looks actually scared, legitimately, and the kid is like lining him up, like pow, I'm about to shoot you in your face, man. So, and the kid in the foreground. I mean, I just love everything about this image. It's just very interesting. So, like I'd say, it would be probably for me storytelling and timing for that image. Let's move on. We have a lot of images to go through. This second image, like, you see a lot of images, like, as you start looking at more street photography, you'll start noticing people take pictures of people with large items walking down the street. And I think these are really cool and fun photographs. I like this one because he's not just holding it, like he busted through it. So whatever is on the other side of there, I'm very curious as a viewer. Like I'm wondering what's on the other side. Um, it's a beautiful whatever it is, panel or whatever. But the fact that he punched through it just so he could get a good grip on it is crazy. So for me, I would have to go with I'd have to go with timing again. I mean, or maybe storytelling again, because I'm just so curious as to what's going on in this image. Like it's a really like, oh my god, what is this? What's happening here? Type of photo. Wow. So the reason I chose this one is because the texture. Like I've never been the type of photographer to um, take a lot of pictures of like abstract things. I guess I'm just always focused on the eye or something like that. But with this image, the color, the white with the red, and then the almost painterly effect of the image, it just invokes a certain feeling for me. Like, of course, that curiosity. It makes me want to look at it more. And it's like, dang, how did you do that? As a photographer, you want other people to view your work and say, dang, how did you get that image? And of course, it might be some kind of glass mirror or something, but I just still love the texture. To even have the mindset to shoot it at this f-stop or whatever he did to get this effect, I absolutely love it. For me, this one would be emotion. I love the emotion that this brings out for me. I'd also maybe say the lighting and mood. It's just something about the way the colors and the shadows just kind of complement each other in this image. It's a great image. I like it a lot. So here's another one that's very similar with the textures. I like how the foreground is out of focus, and I don't know if the dog is out of focus or it's just because he's on the other side of the panel, but it's a very just makes me happy. Like his kid or the kid with the fingers near the mouth, making a big smile. Like you can't. I don't know how to. It's not. I don't know how to just. This is one of my favorite images of the set. Like if I'm looking at it, like I love the composition, so that gets a check. The storytelling, I loved the little story behind this. Like, what makes this kid do this? I've never done this a day in my life until today. Uh, with the dog in the back, the emotion, expression, I think the timing of the moment is perfect, and the light. I mean, for me, this is almost like a 5 out of 5. It hits almost every single aspect for me because it's just so much going on. There's the texture with the little hashtag type of design there with the, oh, I just love this image. Perfect timing. What a great image. Oh, wow. So here's one of a lady at the hospital. And, for me, this just brings up so much emotion because if you live long enough, you're going to be in the hospital and kind of see these type of situations, or you might be going through something like this yourself. And just being in a hospital room, or I don't know if she's in a hospital or nursing room or whatever, but just being able to just come out and see the light, it just feels so good. Being somebody that's in the hospital. My dad was just in the hospital last month for heart surgery, and he had to stay in the hospital for a week. And, I know I can just imagine him just wanting to see the light and just get back outside. And it just it invokes so much emotion for me. The love, the storytelling. I do love the composition of this. This is a great one. So I'd say composition for sure is strong. It has a strong leading lines. And then having them kind of off center to the right, almost golden ratio, the way they're aligned to the right of the frame. But this also has great storytelling, emotion, timing, lighting, mood. I mean, this is another great image. And even though it may seem simple, it checks a lot of boxes, especially within the context of maybe like a photo series or a photo essay, which I'll kind of talk about a little bit later. Wow. So this one for me, I mean, the color, the emotion, the lighting and mood. Lighting and mood probably is the strongest one for me. Just the way the shadows are just kind of falling off. It's very intimate. It's warm. The hospital sometimes has that yellow kind of light, but this just feels so intimate. I'd say the emotion of this. One of your kids holding your other kid. There's a lot going on here, and I really appreciate this image. So for me, I'd say lighting and mood for this one. Wow, another one. I like this one a lot because I love how the horizon is at the bottom third of the frame, right? A lot of people will put the horizon right in the middle, and that makes for a boring image. When you put it down here, it just adds so much more perspective. It makes you appreciate the tree now, right? And then if you let your eye follow the line of the horizon, you can see the mountains in the back. Looks like they're on some type of roof, and you see the kid up there. It's alone. It just makes me ask questions like, where is this? It's some type of a roof. What city is this? Like, why is there only one tree? But I love the colors too. I love the mood of the photograph. It may seem simple, and that's something that I've kind of noticed with Shin, but it's good. It's simple, but good. And also the composition on this one is strong. He didn't try to just center something or center the kid, because he easily could have maybe been to, I guess, right behind the kid, but he's kind of off to the right. So you get to see the ocean and the vastness of the ocean or the sea or wherever that is. You get the single tree in the photo as well as the mountains in the back. So I love this image. Wow, another one. I love this one. This one made me laugh. This one is really cool because I love the gentleman in the left, bottom left, with his mouth open, kind of just screaming like ah, and then the guy in the front, kind of leading it. He's just smiling. It seems like he's laughing. The two ladies are just kind of smiling and laughing. And look where they're standing on the sidewalk. It's almost so perfect. It's like they I don't know how Shin got this. He had to have been right in the mix of the stuff, but what a perfect frame. For me, this is 100% timing and emotion, expression, the storytelling. I think the composition on this is strong. The lighting on this one is strong. I think this is just a strong picture in general. You get to see kind of a little bit of the background. You see that you're in some kind of you definitely know you're not in America, baby. Um, Looks like there's some kind of Japanese festival here, but I love the ladies in the back. They're looking like, that's impressive. But I love how they're just standing right there, like where her dress doesn't even break the border of the sidewalk. I just think it's a perfect frame right there in the middle of the moment. It's a lot of emotions. Emotion is a good one for this one. So it's just a great photograph. Let's see. Here we go. And I have to speed up. I have a lot of stuff to talk through. So this just seems like a simple photograph until you look at the kid in the very back, and he's just like falling out of this rope or hammock. I don't know, but it's absolutely hilarious, and it's a humorous image. Like I don't usually take a lot of humorous images, but sometimes things just happen, and for me, this is 100% a timing photo. And I do like the colors. I like the colors on the guy's shirt. Kind of matches the colors on the lady's book, which also kind of matches the colors from the little boy's towel or pants or whatever. But I think this is a really cool picture where he timed it perfectly. This was crazy to me. Now Shin, he has so many different pieces of work on his website, but I love this thing that he does. Like he has photo essays, and I've never even thought to do this. He does photo essays, and in this one particular one, he documents his father's battle with stage 4 lung cancer, and he photographs the last months or years of his life. You can just see the tender moments that he shares with his father and his daughter, and you just see it's just so much emotion here. The composition is great, but them looking at each other, and I just love how intimate this moment is. For me, this gives me emotion expression because you can see the old and the new. Like even if you don't know anything about what's going on, you see a young kid and you see an old man, and just that juxtaposition between the ages. But the composition on this one is strong. They're both looks like they're both on the rule of third lines, facing each other, which makes it interesting. But I really have to say the emotion and expression on this one is for me. And here's another picture from that series. I think with his mother, they visited his father at the hospital as he had passed away. And I just think it's beautiful with the flowers here and her doing the prayer hands, and you can see a little glimpse of his body. And I just can't even imagine the magnitude of this moment, and for him to bring his camera and to photograph this and to create a beautiful image is ridiculous. So for this one, for me, it's definitely composition and then the lighting and mood. But just this photo essay series definitely almost made me cry because it's just dang, dude, this guy is really strong to document this, and you kind of know what's gonna happen. I mean, we all gonna die, but it's when it's your dad or a family member that you really care about. It's just crazy. And for him to document it like this, wow. And then here's another one with his kids, and they see their grandfather, I guess, for the last time at the crematory. Moving on from that, we have this one where I just love the mood of this. I love, just look at, you can see the snowflakes kind of glistened in the image. You see that? I love the story that this just tells, just of that first snow. We've all been there when you're walking and it just snows, and you can see your tracks in the snow, and everything's still. I love the composition on this one. Looks like he's using the golden ratio to line this one with the people walking. I love the lighting and the mood and the way he has the contrast with the shadows on the left, with the with the white brightness of the snow. It's a really tender photograph. And I'm not saying this is a necessarily hard photograph to get if you're looking out your window, but he definitely no, this is a really good photograph. I can't even, there's so many things to really look at. Like, I love this image. I love this image. Man. All right, at this point, can everybody just stop and go follow Shin Noguchi on Instagram, and then just send him a DM, tell him that you found his work from my video, because I would love to maybe one day talk to this guy and go through some of these photos with him to talk through, like, yo, how did you do this? The timing on this is beautiful. I mean, is this not a great image with the colors? And the two guys swinging the golf, like their head down, look like they're about to swing at the exact same time. And you see these three guys right here in the foreground, kind of doing the exact same thing. For me, I mean, the storytelling on this one is great. The composition on this is great. The lighting and mood on this is great. I mean, I have to go to wherever this is. Like, this looks like an escape. Shin is in his bag. Oh my God. Another great one. I mean, do I even have to say it? Red ball, red hat, white ball, white hat. Composition is great. The storytelling. I just want to know, how did you get this photograph? What's going on here? Like, is this intentional? Like, why? Like, I have so many questions. And then there's snow on the ground. It looks like, is that snow? And they're in short sleeves and shorts. I mean, I don't know. You tell me. But something just seems crazy about this image. Makes me just want to ask so many questions. So for me, the storytelling is the strongest element for this photograph. Wow. This is just a beautiful image. I just love everything about this. I love the composition. Like, even though the little island is centered, and sometimes center compositions can be boring, there's so much stuff going on that, I mean, just to include the hotel or resort in the top left, great. To be able to get the shoreline at the bottom left, great. To be able to get like the walking path in the top middle and to the top right, great. And then the water in the deep ocean or whatever on the bottom right, like, I love it. Like, and then the colors just kind of speckled all within. Like, he's in the perfect spot. Did he think to come to this exact look? Was this just from his hotel room? Was this from his balcony? Or did he have to go somewhere else to get such a perfect image? Like, this is so beautiful. Like, this is screensaver. This is like, you want this on your wall. You want this in your bathroom. Like, for me, I'd have to say the composition is strong on this one. Emotion is great because it's so fun. Like, we've all been to the beach, and you just kind of, you feel, it just feels good to be on vacation. We all know what it feels like to walk on that little path right there at the top left or near the hotel, right before you walk to the water or whatever. You know, it's just, you know what beach day feels like. So I love the emotion that this makes me feel. Yeah, so this is a great image. Man, another image where I'm just kind of like, yo, how did this happen? How did this happen? I'm running out of time. I got to make sure I don't go over on my time. For me, this one, though, I'd have to say storytelling. He has a bicycle laying over. He's sleeping, and he has a skateboard under. Like, tell me what's going on. You have a lot of modes of transportation, but yet you're laying down still. Just in the street, like, or in the grass somewhere. I have a lot of different questions. I love the emotion. I do love, but for me, I really think storytelling. Storytelling is probably the biggest one for me on this one. This one, I mean, do I even have to say it? It's emotion, expression, and it's the timing. And it's a storytelling. Like, why do you have a broken umbrella? Like, and she looks so annoyed to have been having her picture taken. She looks over and is like, why? Why on this day are you taking this picture? And I mean, the composition is perfect too. Like right there in the middle of the frame, you can see the other person. Like it's not unreasonable for her to have for her to have an umbrella, but I think it's perfect expression and emotion in this image. Wow, this one for me is definitely lighting, mood, and I love the texture, like and the questions that it makes me want to ask. It's such a simple photograph, like, but and a lot of us we see situations or things like this in our day to day life, but we don't think to take a picture of it. But this is just like such a just I don't know with that bright pop of red. It's like what's going on here? It's just like fine art. I don't know why I like it. I just do. So for me, I'm gonna definitely go with lighting, mood, emotion, and storytelling on this one. This is a great image. Emotion, expression, timing. Uh, that's probably the number one is storytelling. Like if you have a kid, your kid, your kid will just be have so much emotion and just be going crazy. And to be able to capture this moment is a really fun picture. And even though this isn't my kid, I can just relate to this, and it's just a beautiful moment. So for me, I'd say definitely emotion, expression. The timing on this one is great. Even the lighting and mood, like looks like he used some kind of flash on this image, but I love this image. Let me check my time. How much? I got about 4 minutes. Let's try to power through. Another one, I will say for me, this one is storytelling. I love how he doesn't kind of back away from showing like the inside of I don't know if this is his house or somewhere, but I love just how raw it feels. Like even though it's kind of messy and sloppy, you can just see, like look at the mom just up there, just exhausted, kids pooped, laying on her, kicked out. Like it's just chaos. And for me, this is the storytelling emotion. I love this. Like I just love the storytelling of this. Another great one. I mean, look at the mountain in the back. This one for me is composition, like the time and timing. Like this is just a beautiful scene. Like, and I feel like I can just walk into the frame. The one kid laying there, I don't know if he's tired or if practice is over, but what is just a beautiful scene. I'd have to definitely say that the composition and the emotion and the timing of this photo is what makes it such a good image. For me, this one is lighting and mood to have the strong shadows, right? And, leaving some things hidden. That's what makes it's just, I don't know. And then you just see like this icicle, right? And it's a bright, beautiful sunny day, like the juxtaposition of that. And then the juxtaposition between the bright sunny day and the dark, dark shadows. So for me, this one is emotion and expression. Even though there's no human, there's still emotion. And then this one, like, this seems like a simple photo until you just realize, like, all the layers. Like, this is the scene of going to the snow slopes, right? To get your ski on, get your snowboard on. Like, and then the person in the front just kind of standing there. I don't know if he knows this person in the blue, but just the way they're looking is like, is so perfect. And they're just kind of off center. But this photo just feels so balanced all the way around. Like, on every aspect, you can see the people. I don't even know what these things are called. Like the little ride that rides you to the top of the slopes, and you can just see the little slope over to the left. I just love the colors. This is a beautiful image. I would have to say for me, this one is, I'd say emotion, timing, composition. This is crazy. Just a beautiful image. I love the mood. I love how when it snows outside, it just kind of stops the day. But I love how with this one, he doesn't just focus and do like a half landscape, half city. I love how he just gives so much emphasis of the city and then just a little bit of mountains. It creates a really unique composition. So for me, I love composition on this one. I love the emotion and expression, but the lighting on this one is great as well. I think this is the last one. It is. I love the composition on this one. I love the colors. I love the lighting and mood. If you've been to like a little hole in the wall restaurant, you've caught this vibe before. And the fact that he brought his camera and he was there for this, I love it. I love the composition, how he's not centered. He allows you to see, well, the people aren't centered, but the picture is. Um, it's so much there. I'd say storytelling and emotion as well. It's like, what's going on? What restaurant is this? I just wanted to go ahead and end this video by just, first of all, thanking you guys for watching to the end of this video. This video is sponsored by my company, Casamara Design Studio. So if you want to continue to support me in this channel as I just kind of build this thing out, you can head on over to the website, CasamaraDesignStudio.com. Pick up this candle. This is a f4 candle, so this one has a lot of notes to make it bright. Kind of similar to how like a f4 lens or f4 aperture lets in a good amount of light. Anyway, lessons learned from doing this photo study of Shin Noguchi. Number one, photo essays are crucial. I never actually even thought about doing a photo essay before, but now that I've seen how it can be done, it's like, okay, wow, this is a great way to show a collection of images beyond like an Instagram carousel, like to be able to actually tell a story, put a couple of words to it so the viewer gets a little bit more context. Like if you want to be a documentary photographer, this is something that I think is a cool practice. And I think that's something that I want to do moving forward for myself, is doing photo essays. The second lesson learned is, I'm gonna call it ABCs. ABC. Always bring camera. From the variety of images that I've seen from Shin, it's like this guy brings his camera almost everywhere he goes. And that's something that I don't always do, but it just made me like think that I should just bring my camera wherever I go, because you never know when there's like, oh wow, I cannot believe I just saw that kind of moment going on. And as somebody who really loves photography, it's like, it's almost a no-brainer. You should always have your camera, because you're gonna bump into somebody that needs a photographer. You're gonna see something that's like, I need to get a picture of this, or, but like just always bring your camera. Always bring camera. ABC, always bring camera. The third thing is that simple scenes, or what may seem like a simple scene, is still a worthy scene of being photographed. I think what makes a photographer great is how they use lighting, how they use emotion, how they use storytelling, composition, and their timing to make that picture or that scene great, right? Those simple scenes and those simple moments are worthy. And then the last thing that I learned from Shin and from this practice is that Instagram isn't the only place to show your work. And that's the main place that I would view a lot of my photographs. Like if I was viewing anybody else's photographs in the past, it was through Instagram or YouTube if you were a YouTube photographer. I didn't, like I said, I don't know if I was just lazy. I don't know if what was wrong with me. Like I don't know why I wasn't studying other people's work, but I'm glad that I actually started this practice. And I encourage everybody to find somebody that shoots in the genre that you like, or find somebody that does photography, or study somebody's work, because it's gonna make you a better photographer. So yeah, that's the end of the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a like, or comment below anything, your favorite photo, and comment below if you know any other photographers that you think I should do a photo study on. In the future, I do plan on doing live photo studies with some of my contemporaries, where I actually go through these photos or their photos with them. So anyway, like I said, that's all I have for you for today. I love you. Go out there, take some pictures, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.